I salute you, and I thank you for working so hard to ensure that you play your part in building a better country, a better Uganda, even amidst the prevailing difficulties. Thank you very much, fellow citizens. And in a special way, I want to thank the people that have received us in the many districts where we have been holding our campaign meetings, right from the people of Mbarara who received us when we were launching our manifesto. So thank you very much to the great people of Bankole, mwebale Munonga, mwebale Barambanje, mwebale Munonga, to the people of West Nile, Awadifo, to the great people of Lango, Afoyo Matiek, to the people of Busoga, mwebale ino, mwebale Bakagwa, mwebale ino, mwebale Idara, to our brothers in Acholi land, Afoyo Bear, to the people of Teso, Yalama Noi, to our brothers in Karamoja, Alakaranoi, to our brothers in Bugishu, Manyara Navi, Manyara, to our brothers in Bukedi and all these other areas. Mwebale Muno. Thank you very much. We salute you. We had gone to different districts in different sub-regions. Of course, before the Uganda police and military rudely interrupted our program. To this end, I send special greetings to the people of Luuka who were arrested from Luuka. But we salute to the people of Luuka for the welcome. We send this message to the people of the people of Kamuli, the people of Mpiji, the people of Masaka, Liantonde, Chiruhura, Mbarara, Isinjiro, Ntungamo, and Rukonjiri districts. We were not able to meet you because of the violent and illegal arrests that you saw that were, of course, imposed to us by the state. But we had even been earlier blocked from accessing Kitgum and accessing Sironko and Bujiri. We were not able to go there. I am persuaded, although, that Mr. Museveni was blocking us from seeing these people because he knows the kind of mess that he has created in these places. So he cannot stand us going there to tell them the truth. I am persuaded that he knows that when we go there, we will just show them the mess, which I'm sure they've been seeing for a long time. You notice Museveni stopped me from carrying on our my nationwide music shows because he knew that through music we were showing people the obvious, we were opening people's eyes. And indeed, he stopped me and the team from going around the country to carry on our consultations because he knew he does not want us to communicate, because the more we interact is the more people's eyes get opened. But too bad for him, the people are already fully alert. They already understand what's going on in their country. So I salute all efforts, all friends in the struggle that have played their part to ensure that our people are fully awake, because we all see that people are fully awake. Our fellow citizens, while President Museveni and his surrogates are going around holding rallies, holding processions, they are beating us, torturing us, killing people, and throwing us in prisons for doing the same. He knows that even when he was encouraged to postpone the election, he was looking at this COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity to rig the election, to play his usual game. But again, he realized that not even the pandemic can stop the people from coming out, and that's exactly what happened. Now, having seen that he has no other option, he resorted to his usual brute force, unleashing terror to the innocent citizens. And that's exactly what was happening. He arrested me and many other comrades and dropped us in Nalufenya. Why? Because he had no other options. Museveni did not want us to speak to the people of Luuka, because he knew we were going to tell them that more than 79% of the people of Luuka live on Tadoba, Butadoba, or Paraffin. More than 79% of the people of Luuka, with the great resorts that is in Busoga. He knew that we were going to tell them that more than 87% of the people of Luuka rely on firewood for survival. He knew that I was going to tell the people of Luuka that only a quarter, 25% of the people of Luuka have permanent houses. A quarter of the population. He knew that. That's why he stopped us. I mean, by the way, in a special way, abantu ba Luuka mbalamusa kuino gwali mu kisa gwa amaani okwira kwe wifwe. Lwaki Luuka ndetayo wifwe? Nze baba wange nga tanafwa yankoba nti omu ku badada bange mudi 18 something yaliwe Luuka, era bamuziika Luuka, bali bamweta Bwago. Era ndikwida kufunayo olunaku lulala nje Luuka eyo kumalanga wiiki ndala nonye ku barelative bange ab'omu Luuka, nkidi nti abalala bakaliyo aya abandi basenguka era bajayiganga, era ndidi nti abakaire b'omwiganga baidi omukaire bali beta Bwagu Sekayi, yali mudingwino awo mwiganga, yafa mu myaka ja 1950s baba we yankoba. Oyo mukaire we dada wange baba oyatola ku erina lya Sekayi nali wa mutabani wange beta Solomon Kampala Sekayi, erina lyali lya dada wange bali bamweta Bwagu Sekayi, yali mudingu weiganga. Kale no mubona oti abantu b'Obusoga banenda ino ayenze nambenda ino tinsobi baba ze ndi Busoga, ndi mwana wa Luuka. So I salute you, my brothers and sisters. I knew Museveni would not allow me to come and tell you these things face to face, because he has survived by dividing us along tribal lines, along religious lines. But now he sees a generation that's so connected, as if this connection was made in heaven. So he's so scared about us coming together. Museveni did not want me to step in Buyende, because I would have told the people in Buyende that despite paying a lot of taxes, over 70% of them have no access to drinking water. I would have told them that. I would have told them that over 90% of the people in Buyende aged above 15 years, they only have senior 4 as a maximum level of education. He didn't want me to tell them that. He didn't want me to say that over 4,900 households in Buyende lack toilets, and over 93% don't live in decent houses. He's scared of that. He does not want me to tell our people that they are actually slaves in their own country. These statistics I'm giving you are from, a government agency, UBOS. So Museveni is scared of that. Museveni knows that we can break it down for our people so that they really know how much he has robbed our country, how much he has impoverished our people, how much, how serious an urgency it is for us to get him out of power, to rid ourselves of, of a looter. He did not want that. However, we are able at least to share this now. He didn't want me to come to Kamuli because he did not want me to remind our people there of the persistent lies that he has been telling them, promising one thing after another. He didn't want that. He didn't want me to remind the people of Kamori about the sick healthcare system. He didn't want me to remind the people of Busoga of how much he has killed their education. I told a few people that I met in Busoga that my dream as an artist was to go to Namasagari College. When I was still a school-going boy, Namasagari College was a dream of every talented, of every artistically talented young man or woman. But look what happened. Busoga College Mwiri. We all wanted to go to Busoga College Mwiri. We all wanted to go to Butiki. We all wanted to go to schools like Wanyange Girls. But now, they are more or less gone. So Museveni did not want us to remind our people that way. And that's why he blocked us. The same can be said on the districts where Museveni have been blocking us from reaching. During the past weeks, of course, we had the opportunity to go to different districts. I went to Karamoja, and the sight of poverty you see in Karamoja, a naturally endowed area, it is very sad. You know, I met some people, some young children, evidently malnourished, as if we are, you know, parading them for the journalists to come and take pictures. But the sad irony was that besides these malnourished children, there were still hungry-looking young men holding brand new AK-47s, being used to keep their people in poverty. That is the reality in Uganda. Hungry mothers, hungry fathers, miserable people. This and more is what was happening in places we go to. Hungry and mean-looking soldiers holding brand new weapons, but on their side, miserable children with no future to speak of. But it reminded me that that is how Museveni sees us. He sees us as his slaves. He sees us as people that are only supposed to be used as tools for him to milk our country. The people of Uganda will recall that in his inaugural speech in 1986, President Museveni branded him, leaders like himself today as, you know, a pathetic spectacle. He said in 1986, and I quote, he said, "The Honorable Excellency, who is going to the United Nations in executive jet," because he knows he has no way. He has to use violence now. We are here, but we are mourning the death of more than 50 recorded young men and women, innocent citizens. Many of them were going about their business and they were shot dead. Many of them were only speaking out against injustice. He sentenced them to death because he believes that by threatening anybody that dares to speak out, he will be silencing us. I also saw the Minister of Security, General Eri Tumwine, confirming that indeed their police has the power to execute any citizen. We condemn that, and we continue to tell him that the people of Uganda will be free. Of course, Museveni did not want me to go to Masaka or Chiruhura or Rukunjiri or Ntungamo because he's scared. He does not want people to show support. He has always been claiming that our support is only in the central region, only in urban areas, but I'm sure the truth was clear for everybody to see that indeed the people of Uganda from all corners, from north to the south, from the west to the east, all of them are yearning for change. All of them are ripe for change. You all notice that they've tried as much as possible to brand us as violent. And as I always reiterate to our comrades in the struggle, that we are non-violent and we don't intend to use violence whatsoever to achieve our desired goal. We don't believe in violence. We know the regime is trying as much as possible to brand us violent so they can, respond to us with violence. And sadly, these people that are being used to make violence to innocent citizens they are equally miserable. I met an elderly man in Nebi who has been a police officer for a long time. He struggled as much as possible, selling even the land that his parents left to him to take his son through school. He has a son who wants to be a police officer. Of course, he studied economics, but after 4 years of graduation, he has not found a job. But this man, all through his career, all through the 40 years of him serving in police, he has been promoted only once. He has lived to witness the sons and daughters of those who are well known fly through the ranks past him. But now his son wants to join the police. Yes, after his bachelor's degree, he has not gotten a job. He's at crossroads seeking advice from me, and my advice to him was to vote, to come out and vote, because this cannot be fixed if we don't have a better leadership. This cannot be fixed if we don't have a leadership that considers, merit while promoting the men and women in uniform. Of course, so many other people that I met, the young nurses, there's even a nurse that was, fired for interpreting for me when I went to, where is this before? To Nebi. No, to Pakwach actually. I was in Pakwach. This nurse is going through trouble for translating words that are not inciting violence, for translating words that are only communicating a message of freedom. My fellow Ugandans, I only want to encourage you to be firm. I only want to encourage you to believe in change that is before our very eyes. We are going to the polls on January 14th. Although Museveni and his people are trying as much as possible to stamp it in our minds that we don't have a right to change our fortunes through a vote, although they've unleashed brute force trying to communicate to us that even when we vote him out, he has the capacity to rig the election. But I want to give you confidence, my brothers and sisters, that it is possible. We have seen more brutal dictators around us, but the power of the people has prevailed, and the people's voice has ultimately reigned supreme. So I want to give you confidence. I want to give you encouragement. It is sad that we lost our people. It is sad that our country continues to be divided by people that know how dangerous it is to divide us, but we as a generation should stick together. We as a people should remember that we are stronger together and we are more united than divided. All through history, these dictators, they unleash brute force. They use young men and women to brutalize their fellow citizens, but when it's time for them to go, they run away alone. I want to send a message to our brothers and sisters in uniform, those in police. those in the military, those in prisons, and all security agencies. Friends, do not be misled by these men and women whose future is already behind them. Please don't be misled. I want you to remember that you are living in a generation where everything is on camera. And I'm sure you've seen in the past that at the end of the day, each officer that abuses the rights and freedoms of the people ultimately answers individually. We know many of you are good citizens. We know many of you are good officers. I've interacted with many of you, and indeed you have communicated to me that you don't like the orders that you are being given. So I appeal to you to stick by what you are trained. You are not trained to brutalize Ugandans. For you, the police officers, you are trained to protect life and property of the citizens. You are trained to keep law and order. You are officers of the law. For the soldiers, the military men and women, you are trained to protect Uganda and its sovereignty. Your enemies are not the Ugandans. So don't be used. We know also that the regime decided to use some bandits, like historically it's known that the regime has used bandits, or they have been bandits themselves in the past. So they've decided to use some armed hooligans who show up on our streets without uniform, but wielding dangerous guns, AK-47 and others, shooting and murdering unarmed civilians. I want to remind you, friends, that there will be a time of answering questions. So whatever you do, remember that one day you're going to answer. Now, to President Museveni and his hunger zone, you have spoken the way I'm speaking in the past. Only that, very disappointingly, you don't want to be reminded of your words. Mr. President, all we are saying is be a man of your word. It is you, the elders, that teach us to keep our word. You say if you're a man, you keep your word. So all we're asking of you, Mr. President, is keep your word. Be a man of your word. You said Africa's problem, and Uganda in particular, are the leaders that overstay in power. You one time said a fundamental change had come to Uganda. You one time said you will not preside over a government where people are killed and you don't know the killer. You one time said that you went to the bush because Obote killed your people, because Amin killed your people. These are the same reasons that you gave for picking up guns and convincing young men and women of that time, our age of that time and even younger, to join you in what you called a liberation struggle. But here we are, 40 years later, you are killing our mothers, you are killing our fathers, you are killing a population who are supposed to be your grandchildren. You are presiding over a regime of blood and terror. Blood is flowing on the streets. We have appealed to you time and again that we are non-violent. We have appealed to you to respect the words that you've said, to respect the words that you wrote in your books, the words that are in your book by you and your team called Mission to Freedom, the words that are in your book called Sowing the Mustard Seed, the words that are in your book, What is Africa's Problem? I continue to remind you, Mr. President, that we are not going to give up, sir. We are not going to give up because the law is on our side. We are not going to give up because the people of Uganda are on the side of the truth. The same truth that you are stopping us from telling the people. You said you were fighting to return democracy. Let democracy prevail. You know, be a real soldier. If you're a real soldier, you know, respect the rights of the people. If it is democracy, let it be democracy. Respect fair play. Let the people of Uganda decide. I know many of you fellow Ugandans have asked us what we shall do to President Museveni after we defeat him. I've said it and I'm saying it again, that now entirely depends on him. It depends on how he wants to go out. If he respects the voices of the people of Uganda, we would be happy to respect him, to retire him with dignity, and of course to have him as a resident former president who can even guide. But if he decides to go the Gaddafi line, to go the Bashir line, to go the Mugabe line, that still depends entirely on him. So finally, to the people of Uganda, I want to remind you that this is not only about a certain section of people. It's not only about young people, and yes, it's not only about elders. It's about all of us. This is about all of us. Bad roads will not ask what tribe you are or what religion you are or where your family is before they kill you in an accident. A badly governed country will not, discriminate. Some of you have seen young ladies that were not political at all. Some of them did not even know they are slaves in their own country, going about their usual business, murdered. A young lady who was carrying food to a customer, murdered. We saw even a university lecturer, murdered. So we are all in danger until none of us is in danger. It is important that we all play our part, those in Uganda and those in the diaspora. We, the leaders, all we can do is offer ourselves to lead the charge, but everybody is equally important. I want to encourage all of you brothers and sisters to encourage those that you can reach to come out in large numbers and vote. I repeat, come out in large numbers and vote. This is a protest vote. This is a revolutionary election. Amuntu, Honorable Norbert Mao, I want to salute you, Jeno Tumukunde, and all other colleagues that stood in solidarity with me. Can easily succeed alone, but if we come together, we can chase this man away. We can put an end to this dictatorship if we all come together. If we all come together, this can be a life-changing opportunity for the people of Uganda. I've said it before and I say it again that the people of Uganda are already united. It's upon us, the leaders, and I'm really, really encouraged by the constant gestures of unity. We have the opportunity, and if we maximize it, Museveni and his regime of blood and terror will be history. I thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and listening to me. I want to inform the people of Chenjojo, of Chegegwa, of Fort Poto, that we shall be with you tomorrow. And all areas where we've not come yet, we shall be coming there. The people of Busoga, the people of Sironko, the people of Kitgum, where we've not been able to reach. We are making efforts to adjust our program to ensure that we come there physically, so that we share these facts physically, so that we share these truths physically. I know the regime will try as much as possible to block us. I know they'll try as much as possible to ensure that we don't reach you with the message of freedom. So in the meantime, before we come to you, I want to request all the leaders, wherever you are, to ensure that you send this message out there. Abariomu ankore message mujongereyo, abana babusoga message mujongereyo, mwena abali mbitundu ebya Uganda ebyenjawulo message eyo mujongereyo baganda bange. Obudde tulina butono ate nga tulina okutuukiriza ekirooto ky'abana Uganda ekyokubeera free mu nsi yaabwe. So njagala obbasaba mwenna obubaka buno mubwongereyo, temukitulekera, because it's not about us alone, it's about all of us as a nation. Obubaka mubwongereyo, abantu mbajjemu okutya. Newankubadde eno gavumenti ya Museveni esazeewo okusumulula ettemu, era nga tumanyi bayinza n'okwongera mu ttemu lyabwe. Njagala obbajjukiza ti buli gavumenti yabanakyemalira eba egenda okugwa ekola ebikolobero bingi bwe biti. Buli gavumenti yabanakyemalira eba egenda okugwa ekola ebikolobero bingi bwe biti, neemaliriza egudde. Nze nekimpa essuubi kwe kumanya nti kino ekyatandika tekyasobola kudda amabega. Kwe kumanya nti bannayuganda akantu bonna baguddewo amaaso, ne bonkwata n'oteeka mu komera, ne bo bakuba kibooko, ne bo bafuuyira tiyagaasi, kino tekyasobola kudda amabega. Ekyo nno kimpa nnyo essuubi, kimpa amaanyi, kinyongera okukkiririza mu nkyukakyuka eno, era nammwe njagala mukkiririze mu nkyukakyuka eno. To all our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, thank you very much for the support. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala abali mu Africa, abali Europe, abali Asia, abali America, mwenna mwebalire ddala. Nja kutwalanga obudde nga nkomawo nga njogerako nammwe, kubanga bwe mumanyi ebiseera ebisinga tulemwa okugenda ku TV oba ku radio station. Engeri ezisinga obungi gye zaawambibwa, abangi babatiisatiisa, mulabye nti tetulina billboard n'emu, kubanga gavumenti yabagaana okutuwa billboards. Museveni abadde bwakujja kwogerako eri eggwanga, naye bwe twagambye tugenda kujja twogereko eri eggwanga, yakitegedde nti ajja kuswala. Yensonga lwaki tazze kwogerako eri abantu. Ekyo nno kituwa omukisa okwongera okulaga ensi nti takyalina kati kyasobola gamba abantu. Agamba nti tayagala tusinkane bantu physically, nene wano digitally era tasobola. Yagamba nti ayagala kalulu ka scientific, naye n'aka scientific nako takasobola, kubanga tasobola kutukkiriza kugenda ku TV, tasobola kutukkiriza kugenda ku radio. Naye Katonda w'amaanyi nti social media wadde yagisaako omusolo, era still tumusangayo era ne tumugobayo. Era nga bwe mujja okulaba ebiseera bijja mu maaso, tujja kufuba okukozesa buli mbeera okulaga bannayuganda nti Museveni takyalina kyatugamba. Ku social media ennamba zijja kweraba. Mu January nga tugenze mu kulonda ennamba zijja kweraba. Asobola okuba abantu tiyagaasi, asobola okuba abantu amasasi, naye nga tasobola kola ki? Tasobola kulemesa abantu connectinga. Tumanyi bulungi nti internet yaffe badde interrupted. Every now and then I've been signaled that the internet is being interrupted, but I know that after this message goes out there, lazima you comrades can always watch it again. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this, and I want to promise that every now and then I'll be coming to address you. I thank you. I encourage you to go on being assertive. Organize. Ne bwe tuba tetusinkanye mwenna mubeere bakulembeze, ekyokola mukimanyi, n'embeera yonna mugimanyi. njagala kusanya okwebaza bonna bonna abeebereddemu mu ngeri ez'enjawulo. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Bano abasajja tubasobola naddala nga tukwataganye, naddala nga tweteeseteese. Tugende maaso n'okunoonya akalulu, mufube okulaba nga mutuuka buli wamu baganda bange. Don't leave this only to the politicians. Communicate with everybody. This is about all of us, whether you are teacher or doctor or farmer or taxi driver or student, wherever you are, whoever you reach, the issue should be a mission to freedom. Our issue should be mission to freedom. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for God and my country.
Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omusira waffe buli gyayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi taddaki bannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etalimu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffenna ku lwokunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era nopo ekujjukiza nti ambrela ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akalulu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirewo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omusira waffe buli gyayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi taddaki bannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etalimu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffenna ku lwokunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era nopo ekujjukiza nti ambrela ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akalulu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirewo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omusira waffe buli gyayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi taddaki bannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etalimu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffenna ku lwokunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era nopo ekujjukiza nti ambrela ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akalulu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirewo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omusira waffe buli gyayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi taddaki bannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etalimu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffenna ku lwokunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era nopo ekujjukiza nti ambrela ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akalulu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirewo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya
sigenda kudda ku byakabula buteegero ng'ow'obusaasala omunnyo kantuukire ku bubaka obuntumiddwa abakulu era musseeyo omwoyo kuba nze nfuuse ng'ow'ekiwungu akulowoozaako n'akwokera lufuuka. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kati yafuuse ensonga erumya abayaaye kubanga awatali kuwannaanya azze okuvuganya ku kifo ky'omukulembeze w'eggwanga Uganda. Kyagulanyi yajjanga kibunoomu era tewalidda mulala nga kye kimuleese okutambula naawe ngeri yakalannamu ak'ettooke ekkulu n'omumizi okuggyawo ekitayiriro ng'ow'obusaaza ow'obuwala olwo obuyinza bw'abantu bubaddire mu kwesalirawo engeri eggwanga lyabwe gye lisaanye okuddukanyizibwamu. Omubanda wa Kabaka mwetegefu okugatta Uganda yonna kubanga abaliwo baafuuka kyalema nga n'olwekyo bannayuganda tebasaanye kubalinda kugenera mu buyinza batuuke okuwunzika nga n'emmamba ebanyeenyeza ngobero. Abamunyooma nti lubwa lukovvu mukimanye nti balunyoomera ku kyoto bwe lutuuka ku nsiko nga luwera ennemba. Omwana wa ghetto akujjukiza nti y'obukulembeze bwe tebujja kuba bwakweyogezanga ng'ow'amali bw'ayassira embwa nti bw'eribulwa amannyo ndigisongolera emmambo. Agenda kukola butassa mukka butassa mwoyo okukakasa nti buli munnansi eby'obugagga by'ensi abigabanako kyenkanyi ngeri ya luvulunguti abasajja lwe baliira ku magi. Ono omwana ddala nnantalabikalabikanga musezi aserera mu gaalubindi kubanga mu kaseera mpawe kaaga k'amaze mu by'obufuzi atadde abanene ku bunkenke ng'emitima gibasula ku mutwe ng'eyabuulira ku w'olugambo ng'obuzira bwe kati bwa kigere kya mbogo kye beegezaamu nga teriiwo. Teweerabira nti akabonero manvuuli olwo Ssentamu akwata enkasi n'essuubi nti wanaatuukira ku jjindikiro nga bangi mutya abagamukadde asanze ennuuni y'olusuku mu lw'entemera okuggyako nga mwagala kukiza munda ng'akaabira eddiba ly'enjobe. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu yagwana obuyinza bw'eggwanga lino tuve ku biriwo eby'okwebambalika ng'omunafu alima ku kkubo kubanga bulijjo n'okumyuka amaaso si buzira singa endegeya bazigobesa mafumu n'angabo.
Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunoofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omuzira waffe buli gy'ayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi tadde kibannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etali mu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffe ennaku lw'okunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era noopo ekujjukiza nti amburera ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akululu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirawo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya. Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunoofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omuzira waffe buli gy'ayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi tadde kibannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etali mu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffe ennaku lw'okunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era noopo ekujjukiza nti amburera ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akululu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirawo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya. Uganda Kyagulanyi agaludde omunoofu omulembe gwaffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert omuzira waffe buli gy'ayita bakkiriza nti ye pulezidenti w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi tadde kibannanka tufune ku nkyukakyuka abazeeyi bakoze ekibala kabawummule katunyumire ku Uganda empya etali mu kulyanguzi ng'amalwaliro galimu eddagala amasomero geeyagaza nga pipo balina pawa ebyobulimi bidde ku mulembe abavubuka katufune emirimu atemu abakuuma eddembe miliyoni yaffe tebugyerabira omwana ye w'omubiri bannange naffe tumuyire obululu kale ffe ennaku lw'okunanga 14 January 2021 tugweyo tulonde Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu kuba pulezidenti wa Uganda era noopo ekujjukiza nti amburera ye manvuuli buli wagiraba tikinga ate temwerabira olumala okuwa Kyagulanyi akululu kaffe tetuvaawo paka nga bakabaze olwotandikirawo ebikujjuko by'okujaganya.